Hello, everyone. A little special episode, I guess, today. I want to go over one of my favorite essay authors in the entire cryptocurrency space, Jonald Fyookball. And he has a whole bunch of essays over on Medium. You can follow him at Jonald Fyookball on Medium. And they're all basically just great. And some of them are definitely, evergreen content. So the one I'm going to go over today for you guys is from November 20th of 2018. I'm recording this today on March 1st, 2019. So what is that? A little over 4 months ago. And this particular article is called "Bitcoin Cash is Finally Free of Faketoshi. Great Days Lie Ahead." And Jonald says, "On the surface, it appears that all hell has broken loose. The markets are a bloodbath. BTC is crashing. ETH is crashing. And BCH is especially crashing hard after a contentious hard fork has occurred, with InChain, CoinGeek, Craig Wright splitting off into Bitcoin SV. But in the grand scheme of things, Craig Wright leaving the Bitcoin Cash community is a wonderful thing. This self-described tyrant has been expunged, and now we can get back to our mission of bringing peer-to-peer electronic cash to the world. The markets will rebound when they see that the chaos is over. But regardless of the price, we will keep building. Nothing will stop the sound money movement." Calling out bad behavior. As Rick Falkving recently explained, there is a difference between small-minded gossiping about personalities and legitimately calling out bad behavior. Craig Wright's bad behavior must be called out because he has done tremendous damage to the Bitcoin Cash and possibly even the entire cryptocurrency sector. The brief history, is that he gained his reputation by claiming to be Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. He said he would provide extraordinary proof, but he has never done so. Supposedly, he did some private signings to a few people, and this allowed him to gain influence in the BCH community. The destruction he has been causing was not widely recognized until after a huge mess had been made. Thanks to user contrarian_ for the following compilation of Craig Wright's misgivings. 1. He faked blog posts. And these are all cited with links to the information here. So 1. He faked blog posts. 2. He faked PGP keys. 3. He faked contracts and emails. 4. He faked threats. 5. He faked a public key signing. 6. He has a well-documented history of fabricating things Bitcoin and non-Bitcoin related. And 7, he faked a Bitcoin trust to get free money from the Australian government, but was caught and fined over $1 million. And there's links to the details for all of this here. And specifically concerning his claim to be Satoshi, he has provided no independent verifiable evidence. He is not technically competent in the subject matter. His writing style is nothing like Satoshi's. He called Bitcoin bit space coin in 2011 when Satoshi never used a space between the words bit and coin. He actively bought and traded Bitcoins from Mt. Gox in 2013 and 2014. He was paid millions for coming out as Satoshi as part of the deal to sell his patents to Intrust for those who claim he was outed or had no motive. Next section is that he was caught red-handed plagiarizing. No respectable academic, scientist, or professional needs to stoop so low as to steal and take credit for the work of others, least of all Satoshi. Yet Craig Wright has been caught at least 3 times plagiarizing. And with citations here, his paper on selfish mining was full of sections copied almost verbatim from a paper written by Liu and Wang. His Beyond Godel paper, which purports to claim that Bitcoin script is Turing complete, is heavily plagiarized. And a paper on block propagation was blatantly and intentionally plagiarized. And he goes on to point out that Craig Wright can't even steal code correctly. Craig Wright also was caught attempting to plagiarize a Hello World program, the simplest of all computer programs. He apparently does not understand base 58 or how Bitcoin address checksums work, and this is cited. The whole world can see it right there on Twitter. And that was actually one of the things that really flipped me on this whole issue. So both of these are common knowledge to experienced Bitcoiners, and Craig Wright has also made other embarrassing errors. So how did such an obvious fraud gain so much power and influence? There are no easy answers here. It seems that as humans, we are very susceptible to manipulation and misinformation. The greatest weapon anyone has against sinister forces is a well-educated populace. This is something that can only improve over the long run. The Satoshi factor is a powerful one and appeals to the glamorization of a mythical figure. Even people such as myself, who are technically astute, gave Craig Wright all the benefit of the doubt until the evidence starting to stare us in the face could no longer be denied. The seduction of the Bitcoin Cash community was also facilitated by Craig Wright becoming a strong advocate for the on-chain big block scaling movement at a time when the community was dying to hear it. This message, delivered with a brazen, in-your-face style, was a sharp contrast to anything that had been seen before. In addition, Craig Wright was able to find obscure topics, network topology, 2PDA, etc., that seemed to establish him as an expert with esoteric knowledge above and beyond anyone else. Basically, he was using technobabble, but it wasn't immediately obvious except to very technical people who were then attacked and discredited. Eventually, as more and more of the community began to realize his technical claims were bogus, Craig Wright banned those people from his Twitter feed. I'd been blocked. And he banned them from his Twitter feed and his Slack channel, leaving only a group of untechnical believers, which the larger Bitcoin Cash community referred to as the Church, aka the Cult of Craig. Finally, if some believe that Craig Wright possessed Satoshi's stash of 1 million BTC, then they may have been gnawing to get a piece of it. But it may turn out that these coins were the coins that never were, and there's a link to a whole article about that. Next subject in the article is broken promises. If this article seems like an attack piece on Craig Wright, remember that it is important to get all the facts out in the open. We'll get to the silver lining and the bright future in a moment, but let's continue here to get it all out. One of the biggest ways that Craig Wright has damaged the community is to make an endless series of broken promises. This caused others to wait and waste time on his unproven ideas and solutions, and to postpone or drop their own ideas and initiatives. Sounds like another group that's really caused damage to the cryptocurrency community. But Craig, his list of broken promises here. He said he was building a mining pool to stop SegWit. He never did. He said he was bringing big companies to use the BCH chain. Never did. He said he was providing a fungibility solution based on blind threshold signatures. Still hasn't. He said he was providing novel technology based on oblivious transfers. Never did. He said he was providing a method where people could do atomic swaps without using time locks. Still hasn't. He said he was going to show everyone how we can do bilinear pairings using SEP 256K1. Still hasn't done that either. He said he was going to release the source code for Nakasendo. Still hasn't done that. He said he was releasing some information that would kill the Lightning Network. Didn't do that either. He said he was going to show everyone how the selfish mining theory is wrong. Still hasn't done that. He said he was going to show everyone how we can tokenize everything in the universe squared. I don't think they've released any token platform of their own at all yet, so still hasn't done that. And he said a few times that big things are coming in 2 months. He said that more than a few times. I can't count how many times he said that. So anyhow, how Craig Wright has damaged the Bitcoin Cash community. In addition to the broken promises, the Bitcoin Cash community was wounded due to the division of the community with classic divide and conquer tactics, a loss of focus with huge amounts of drama and distraction from building and adoption. Investor confidence has been shaken due to uncertainty and chaos. Bitcoin Cash is a laughingstock to outsiders due to Craig Wright's antics. Gemini deployment of Bitcoin Cash and other rollouts have been paused. Loss of developer talent due to toxic and abrasive personality, and various patent and legal threats. And this isn't in the article written by Jonald Fyookball, but I want to mention it because I just saw it earlier today. Craig Wright is literally on Twitter today claiming that forking free open source software like Bitcoin is illegal. He's saying that forking free open source software is illegal, like La La Land, absolute La La Land from Craig there, and we'll put a link to him saying that in the description of this video below. So if that doesn't show you that Craig Wright has no idea what he's talking about, like, you're beyond hope. Like, forking free open source software is the entire point of free open source software, and Craig Wright out there saying that it's illegal. Man, you're absolutely everything that this entire ecosystem is against. So anyhow, Jonald Fyookball goes on to talk about the hash war event and split into Bitcoin SV. Every 6 months, Bitcoin Cash has a scheduled network upgrade. This is technically a hard fork, but a non-contentious fork does not result in a split of the chain. It is simply new network rules being activated. Bitcoin Cash has multiple independent developer groups, including Bitcoin ABC, Bitcoin Unlimited, Bitcoin XT, Bitprim, BCHD, Bcash, Parity, Flowy, and several others. The in-chain group, led by Craig Wright, introduced an alternate set of changes a week before the agreed cutoff date, intentionally causing a huge controversy. These changes were incompatible with the changes being discussed between the other groups. In-chain objected to the changes being proposed, despite specifically agreeing to it almost a year earlier. The last-minute objections were, in my opinion, an attempt at sabotage. An emergency meeting was held in Bangkok to attempt to resolve the differences between the in-chain group and the rest of the community. Not only did Craig Wright refuse to listen to the other presentations, he walked out of the meeting after his own speech had been given. The other in-chain people refused to discuss the technical issues. I was physically there when all this happened. It's true. Craig Wright gave his speech. The next guy started to give his speech. Craig Wright called it bullshit and lies and got up and walked out of the room. Calvin Hare, who was physically there, present in Bangkok, didn't even bother to come to the meetings at all. So it was very clear they had already made up their mind and didn't really go into the meeting with good faith, as far as I can tell. Anyhow, the essay continues. After this, in-chain built their own software, Bitcoin SV, to attempt to compete for the Bitcoin Cash network. But rather than split off to follow their own set of rules, they threatened to attack Bitcoin Cash. Their attitude was, you follow our rules or we burn it all down.
We have more hash power. We will dedicate it to their hash power. There is no split. You split, we bankrupt you. This is how Bitcoin works. If you don't like it, stiff.
The Craig Wright sycophants adopted a strange interpretation of the Bitcoin white paper and proselytized the idea that if in-chain could out-hash everyone else, the market should be obliged to follow them. This faulty thinking was eloquently debunked by user Catatonic Adenosine. As it turns out, in-chain was unable in any case to win at their own game. But here's the obviously good news. Craig Wright is gone. It's over. He can do whatever he wants on the Bitcoin SV chain. He will never be allowed to influence Bitcoin Cash again. And all the negative things and the negative people that were a consequence of his involvement in Bitcoin Cash are gone with him. As a community, we will redouble our efforts to get back to our mission of peer-to-peer electronic cash. We will learn to work together better than ever, and we will learn to detect and punish bad behavior sooner. The attempted attacks with hash power also spark innovation and a focus on the problem of how to stop such attacks in the future. This is only making Bitcoin Cash and the entire class of proof-of-work coins stronger. Nothing will stop us. The reason why millions of dollars were spent to attack and to defend Bitcoin Cash is because it's something truly worth fighting over. It's sound money, it's permissionless, it's what Satoshi Nakamoto envisioned. It's peer-to-peer electronic cash. What a great essay by Jonald Fyookball there. So thank you, Jonald, for writing that. Wanted to share it with a few more people that like to watch videos rather than read essays. And it's a great day for Bitcoin Cash. It's truly, it's peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It's great. Thank you all. And if you like this video, please share it on your own social media. Subscribe to the channel. That's the only ways we have of getting the word out. So please subscribe and share and comment below. See you guys all in the next video. And thanks for helping bring peer-to-peer cash to the world. Thank you.